Jack Smith could not get his D.C. case before a jury prior to Election Day, the one before the woman who hates him, Judge Chutkan. He decided to lay it out through a paper trial against former President Trump in a new 165-page legal brief. Would you look at this? Look at this thing. These are the little redactions you can see on there, allegedly protecting people's privacy. Honestly, in some ways, this is even better than a trial because it's just Jack Smith's side of the story and no defenses whatsoever, and quotes that may be taken entirely out of context, in fact, appear to be, just to hurt Trump a month before people go to vote. Sure, this is totally legit and nonpartisan at all. For those keeping score at home, this 165-page legal brief, that's roughly 3.5 times longer than the original indictment. And then Judge Chutkan unsealed it yesterday at Jack Smith's request. He was like, it's very important that the public see this. Sure, this is totally about the law case. It has nothing to do with public opinion before people vote. In this brief, Smith's team argues over and over and over again that Trump's scheme was a private criminal effort and resorted to crimes to overturn the election. Can I just tell you something? So now I've read through most of it, and I've read through 25 articles discussing it, and I've listened to podcasts already on it. Like I know this case, but here's my number one takeaway. Trump behaved terribly after he lost that election. And you've heard me say that from Election Day 2020 all the way forward. You've heard me defend Mike Pence. I know a lot of you disagree with me. That's fine. We can disagree. We often do. But this is a private and a political matter. This is not a criminal matter. And Jack Smith is doing acrobatics, Cirque du Soleil level, to try to make this somehow a crime. And now he unveils this in this dramatic, oh, here it is, it's unsealed, the public must see it before election. It's the same shit we have seen. We had an impeachment trial. We had a primetime, week-long, January 6th, public condemnation trial. We've had January 6th witnesses leading the news on every other news station for years. We've had books written. Like, we know he behaved badly. All of it lacks any context, and I'm not saying it was at the same level, but lacks any context when it comes to Democratic efforts to overturn elections, like Hillary Clinton, Stacey Abrams. There's a long list. This is now just one guy who clearly can't stand Donald Trump and his 165-page reasons why. So, okay, I mean, I did you the solid of listening to the left-wing press this morning, MSNBC and elsewhere, and they're so excited. Like, you didn't learn anything new. This is all stuff you just want to bathe yourself in it more. It just feels so good on you to hear about Trump's tweets and where he was when he sent them. Jack Smith apparently tracked Trump's phone. He got like data on where Trump was tweeting from when he was tweeting out certain tweets. And this is the big reveal. He was in the dining room off the Oval Office. Okay. Is that going to change the next election? I mean, Jack Smith certainly hopes so. After this thing was unsealed, the Trump campaign spokesman Steve Chung hit back saying, quote, "The release of the falsehood-ridden, unconstitutional J6 brief immediately following Tim Walz's disastrous debate performance is another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine American democracy and interfere in this election." That's an interesting point, right? Because this is what J.D. Vance did at the debate. Don't lecture me on your commitment to democracy. J.D. took it to a censorship place, saying, given how you love to censor everything and everyone's speech, you're not exactly lovers of the First Amendment or the Bill of Rights, so spare me. And now you have Team Trump saying, this is election interference real time. You are ceding whatever moral high ground you purported to have. But they're not dumb over on Team Blue. And they accurately predicted that the media would absolutely love this. Here's just a brief sampling of the headlines. MSNBC, Trump tried to block Jack Smith's immunity brief. It backfired. What? How? How did trying to stop it backfire against him? Politico, 11 damning details in Jack Smith's new brief in the Trump election case. NBC News, Trump resorted to crimes, quoting, to stay in office after 2020 loss, Jack Smith's team says. Hello? We know that that's what Jack Smith's team has said. They've indicted the man on 4 charges in a federal court, alleging exactly that. We've known that for years now, NBC. Over to ABC. Bombshell immunity filing details Trump's alleged increasingly desperate bid to overturn the 2020 election. How is it a bombshell if we learn nothing new? Truly, we learn like it's like, I have a red sweater on today. It has gold buttons. Okay, it also has flouncy sleeves at the bottom. Okay, what we learned on the next day that it actually had some creases in the cuff. Yes. Film at 11, stop the presses, not exactly. However, it's important for us to understand exactly why they did this, what this is about, and what you need to know when you see your leftist friends over the next 30 plus days and they wave this thing in your face and tell you this is a nightmare and how could you possibly vote for this guy? Kamala Harris is proposing massive tax hikes right now, an almost 40% top income tax rate, almost 40% on top of what you pay for the state. 7% increase to the corporate tax, a capital gains tax on unrealized gains for some. And then there's the fact that she's proposing to add almost $2 trillion to a current $2 trillion deficit. You might be thinking it's time to make more of your savings tax sheltered and inflation sheltered for that matter. That's why I want to tell you about Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will assist you in converting an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. And the best news is you don't pay 1 penny out of pocket. Just text the letters MK to 989898 and get a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just information on fortifying your savings before the crazy reality hits. Well, before the crazy really hits. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of happy customers. Just text MK to the number 989898 for your free info kit today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.